Hi, so this video is for you, Jessica, and for whoever you want to share this. So after our interview on Friday, I was really interested in knowing more about the company Micro Eyes, right? So it's really interesting, and because I'm in this path now about how to implement large language models into applications. So I was trying to check like how ChatGTP comes when I ask something about macro. So let's let's ask, for example, in here. So when we basically when we like ask right now, I can see that ChatGTP gave me a really good like answer about it, right? But sometimes the information is not updated because we have to remember that ChatGTP was trained with information in the web until 2021. So I can see here that it gave me like a little summary about what your company does, right? But let's ask about this one, Striata, which is a product that you have. So I already gave it the context, which is macro AIs, and it gives me like a short summary about what it does, right? So if I ask about what is Strata, so it gives me an answer that is not the best one. That sounds like if ChatGTP really knows about what is talking about in this chat. But for sure, it's not, because this information that is here is not the same one that we have here, right? When I go to the web page. But I did develop like a little project which is like using the ChatGTP API. So I developed like a little chat in order to respond questions about micro eyes. But in this case, what I did is am I use something that is called embedding, which is I basically update information and then embed this information in my system, so ChatGTP can take some of this information as a context in order to respond. So this is the system. So you can see here that when I ask about Strata, which is like your main product at this moment, and it didn't give me like a really good answer, right? But if I go to my system here, and I ask about Strata, so let's call this function here, and I will ask what is Striata. Let's double check if, yeah, Striata. So now is is going to answer me. Let's wait just a little bit. So in here, it's going to give me an answer that is better than the one that the ChatGTP gave me at the beginning. It says is an interactive tool developed by MacroEyes to measure health system capacity for COVID-19 response in Sierra Leone. It takes into account a multitude of different types of data, including publicly available data, um, satellite imagery in both low and high resolution, natural language such as text messages, etc., etc. So this one here is a better answer. But why? So I will explain a little bit what did I do in case in the future you want to use the same basis for a virtual assistant. So anybody can go into your web page and ask questions. And this question is going to be more accurate because it's going to use information that is already updated. So this is the process that I did in case you or one of your teammates wants to apply it in the future. So basically what I did is like I went to the web page and I extract all the text that I could extract. Like for example, uh, these text, I went to, for example, blogs, and I extract all of these texts in each of these blogs. So I put all the text that I did extract in this format, right? Like topic and content. For example, in here I can see this blog which is called Artificial Intelligence and Health, and this is all the text, right? So after that, um, I start to work in this project, right? So I import OS, OpenAI packages or libraries, and then pandas. This is my Open API key, yeah, and this is the document, which is this one, but I just imported as a CSV. So this is the document in CSV. Then I do something that is called embedding, which is the key of this project. So basically, what I did is like I put this topic and this content together, right? So the table that I have is something like this, and then I did um, the embedding process to this column here, which I did call it topic and content. So embedding basically means like to transform this string into a vector, right? So after embedding, this is a function that API that Open AI API has. So basically, I can get any string and I can transform that string into vector, right? So um, so if I compare vector one with another string that I already transformed to vector, I can calculate how similar they are, right? And in this way, I can choose like which vector use to answer any question based on the similarity that those vectors have. So basically, that's the logic behind the embedding. So after I after I did the process of embedding all these strings values that contains like the topic and the content that I already extract from macro eyes web page. So basically I have here the the value in vector of this string, right? And then, for example, in here, I showing the vector. This is the this vector, this embedding of this string here correspond to this vector, and if I want to see the complete vector, is gonna be something like this. So basically, what they're gonna do now is like, okay, I will use some of these vectors as a context in order to ask anything to ChatGTP. So how I going to choose which one? How I going to select which one? That depends of the question. So what I do here basically is that I write a question as an input, then that question I embed that question, which means that I transform that question, which is in text or a string, to a vector, and then I compare that vector to all these vectors, and in doing that comparison is going to give me like the similarity, and then I will choose the one with the highest similarity in order to use it as a context. And then because this information is already updated, so that's going to help to ChatGTP to give me more accurate answer when I'm asked something about macro eyes, right? So I will give the example here. For example, in here, let's say what striata is. So this is the question, which is going to be a string. What striata is. Then I'm going to embed that question. That means I will vector that question, and then I will compare like the similarity of that vector which belongs to the question to each of these vectors that I already create here in order to get which one is the has the highest similarity. So in here I do this, and in here it's going to give me the first one. So let's say topic and content so of is it's gonna be topic and content. Okay, after I apply this, which is going to give me the one with with the largest similarity of the higher similarity. So I can print it here, and I can see that it's choosing the one in the block number 4, which content is strata by micro eyes maximizes monitoring and evaluation with artificial intelligence. So basically, um, when this when the function, when compare like the vector of the question and all the vectors of the list that I got there already embed, is going to choose the one that has the higher similarity, and that's how it's going to give me a really good answer, better than the same chat GTP, because with this project I'm embedding update information, and uh, I'm like choosing a context. So so that's why when I ask here about it, what is strata, give me a really good answer. And then I have another, because we were talking about how a product manager can, for example, like talk to stakeholders about potential use cases in different places, for example. So I did this little function here. Let me copy. Let me copy and paste it here. So what country is going to be used microID services? Of course, Colombia, because you know I'm from Colombia. Um, what area do you want to improve? Let's say health care, healthcare, yeah, healthcare systems, or let's say healthcare. And then what specific topic in that area would you like to improve? Let's say vaccines, supply chain, right? So if I do that again, it's going to get all this information that I just prompt, is going to do a string with all that information, is going to convert that string into a vector, then is going to compare that vector with all the vectors that I have from the information that I extract from the web page that is already are already in vector as a vector, and then it's going to give me a really good answer. Like, for example, as a product manager from Micro Eyes, I'm excited to explore how our forecasting technology can be used to improve healthcare in Colombia. Our Strata technology. So I didn't ask. I didn't ask about Strata technology, but it's giving me Strata because already incorporates that information as a context, because ChatGTP itself doesn't have that information. Maybe because it's too new. Because if we go to ChatGTP here, when we ask about strata, it gives me a completely wrong answer. So that's all. This is like a use case about how to use large language models like ChatGTP or OpenAI to improve um, virtual assistants or chatbots. Um, when the information is not updated. So instead of train a particular virtual assistant or a particular chatbot, we can use this technique, which is embed text to give the large language model a context. Um, so we have to remember that these texts have to be in a vector way. So we have to pass this text into a vector in order to get like how similar a vector is to another, to choose the one with the higher similarity. So that's all, Jessica. I hope you you like this video. I will attach you this notebook in a Google Colab. Uh, so just in case any one of your teammates want to play a little bit with it. And thank you very much.